Peace, guys. It's Gabe. I'm going to go over the watch list with you guys. Not a whole lot to cover tonight, just being the fact that, I've got a couple charts that I'm really locking in on, and I don't see a whole lot of setups out there across the board. I really think that, we could continue higher with SPY here. We could definitely continue higher and keep pushing. I don't think that's the ideal scenario. I think that the patient trader gets rewarded here, and seeing some pullback, seeing some sideways movement into this maybe six, I can draw a line here. Kind of anticipate, pullback here. I don't know if we'll get that. Would be good, but if we can't get one there, then, maybe around here. At least 612, get some, find our footing and work our way up off of one of these levels. I'm not sure if we'll get it, but I can tell you that these would set up our charts even better. Come in with a fresh approach on some lower prices here in SPY and QQQ. Looking at QQQ, a little zoom out action here. Be nice to see QQQ maybe retest 535. If we can't get that, maybe 545. But other than that, we look a little more constructive in QQQ than we do in SPY. A little bit extended in SPY, Again, wouldn't be surprised to see this keep going. Also, wouldn't be surprised to see it kind of sell off tomorrow. Bitcoin had a huge move today. And honestly, guys, we've been talking about this one the whole time it's been range bound here. How tight Bitcoin was, especially those last 4 days. And then boom, we got that move to 116. Pretty impressive, pretty good strength, volume to support it. Bitcoin an all-time high breakout. It's middle of July. Bitcoin's at all-time high, SPY's at all-time high, QQQ's at all-time highs. Who would have thought we'd be here back in April? But we are. We're right here. So again, we look to build off of this, some sideways movement, some consolidation within this candle, and Bitcoin can set up for another leg. SMCI, we got that, gap up today. Didn't get supported, just couldn't quite, find that expansion that we're looking for. It's still ready to expand. But we have to be cautious with SPY. If SPY has a pullback day tomorrow, if SPY pulls back to 620 tomorrow and has just a sell-off to close the day, something like SMCI probably won't have its day. It just probably won't. That's why as traders we always have to respect our risk, and not just respect it, but also accept it. What I mean by that is, accept it. How much money are you going to lose? Where are you going to cut that trade off? You internalize that. You know that it's possible, and you didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with accepting a loser. It's the nature of trading. You're going to have losers. But the ability to accept them, cut them, take your loss, and then move on to the next trade with a fresh mindset, that's what keeps traders in the game. That's what separates people that don't make it from the people that will be successful in the markets. So again, I've got my risk in mind here on something like SMCI. I'm keeping my risk. It's below. I don't want to lose 2 or 3 points in this. If I lost 48 tomorrow in SMCI, I'd cut the whole thing. Potentially, I'm looking to gain 10 points here. taking some profit around 53, 54, taking more profit above 55, and then maybe letting some runners go to 60. So if I want to gain 10 points, I need to cut my trade at 2.5, essentially. So maybe 3. We've got a solid 3-to-1 risk to reward. You see what I'm talking about? And one way you can really plot out your risk and rewards, go on Webull, go on stock charts, and draw your lines in the sand. Okay? I can draw my line in the sand here and say, all right, if SMCI dips below this point right here, I cut it. I'm not interested in it anymore. It's not paying me. I'm going to fire it. You know, it's off my watch list. But if SMCI goes higher, I'm looking to take some profit in this thing. I'm looking to catch that expansion move and take some profit in between 54 and 60 on the way up. I'll take it off in not all at once. You know, I'll take it off in tiers. Tier 1, I'll take a third of my profit. Tier 2, I'll take another third. And then I'll let the third, I'll let the rest of it ride, knowing it's risk-free. That's how I'll attack something like SMCI. Gives this thing space to consolidate more. Maybe it continues sideways again. Would be perfectly fine with me. But it's still ready for that expansion. SMCI is. We're waiting to see that expansion. Just a matter of which way we'll get it. If we'll get it on the upside or the downside. We'll just have to see. SLDP still very focused in on this trade. It just doesn't show signs of slowing down. And going back on the chart, two years, we're at a very key point here. Even more, 3 years. Yeah, we've got space above 270. So I'm letting this one ride at this point. We've made a lot of, we're up on this trade. We're letting winners ride. We'd love to see this thing form a handle. Maybe a couple weeks of sideways consolidation. And let some people get in with $2 entries. But I've got to let my winners ride with this. Just see if it continues up. SLDP, the volume is impressive. Very impressive recently. That's all I've got for today, guys. Just a couple, tomorrow's Friday. Stay nimble. Stay prepared for maybe a little sell-off to end the week. But we look strong. We look constructive. And these are the names that I'm attacking while we look constructive. That's it, guys. Peace. Have a great rest of the night. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow in the Discord.